San Diego firehouses join in the mourning for 19 firefighters killed in Arizona. We'll have the latest on the deadly fire tonight on KPBS Evening Edition. Hi, good evening. I'm Dwayne Brown. Also tonight, San Diego gets some bad news about its budget. There's a $20 million hole, and the city attorney says he won't send his staff to any more closed-door sessions with the mayor. And there's a ruling in the lawsuit over yoga classes in Encinitas, but the case isn't over yet.
And I'm Peggy Pico. After her first day on the job, the superintendent of San Diego's biggest school district chats with us about what's next. Plus, we talk with California State Parks' new director, Major General Anthony Jackson, about whipping the troubled system into shape. And we'll show you how doctors and students at UC San Diego are working to overcome stigmas to control a potentially fatal disease. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. A somber procession in Arizona, a caravan of white vans carrying the bodies of 19 firefighters killed in a raging wildfire. At their fire station, a makeshift memorial is growing tonight to honor the victims. It's the worst loss of life among first responders since 9/11 and the worst loss of firefighters in a wildfire in 80 years. Nearly all of the Granite Mountain hotshots were killed when a sudden windstorm drove the fire out of control, overrunning their position. Their emergency shelters were not enough to protect them. The only survivor was moving the team's truck at the time. 3 of the dead are Southern California natives. The fire was sparked by lightning, and it's still burning tonight. It's grown to about 13 square miles. PBS NewsHour will have more on the disaster later at 7. San Diego has a $20 million hole in its budget tonight. It has to do with the city's pension bill. KPBS Metro reporter Sandy Dirks tells us how the money went missing.
Back in May, the city and its unions came to an agreement to freeze employees' pensionable pay for 5 years. Now, that freeze is where this $20 million would have come from. But on Friday, the board that governs retirement couldn't muster the votes to make the freeze a reality, which means the money vanishes, at least for now.
So what does this mean from a practical sense? What was the $20 million supposed to fund?
Well, for one, police. There's been a lot of talk about police recruitment, and the city council wanted to add 2 slots to the police academy class, bumping it up from 34 to 36. Now, that's gone. Also gone, longer library hours. Perhaps the biggest chunk was $10 million in compensation hikes for city staff. That's now going to have to come from somewhere else, most likely the rainy day fund. There's a bigger implication in all of this. For months, the city has been lauding itself on having a balanced budget. They could do all these extra things, and now that's gone. Now there's a sense that all the personality tangles at City Hall are beginning to bleed into very real and costly city business.
KPBS Metro reporter Sandy Dirks. San Diego's city attorney calls the tension between his office and Mayor Bob Filner a one-way feud on Filner's part. Jan Goldsmith says he doesn't understand why. Recently, Filner ordered police to escort one of Goldsmith's staff out of a closed session meeting. On KUSI this morning, Goldsmith called it an illegal action and says there won't be any more closed sessions until he gets a promise it won't happen again.
There will be no further closed sessions. There will be no closed sessions. Until we work this out. And what I really need is the mayor, with support from the police chief and the city council leadership, to come forward and say, it's not going to happen again. We're going to treat your lawyers legally. We're not going to abuse, we're not going to harass, and we're not going to use the city police force to arrest them or detain them.
KPBS asked the mayor's office for a response to Goldsmith's statements. We have not received one so far. If you recall, last Friday, Filner said disputes are not in the city's best interests and need to be worked out. A San Diego judge says yoga classes in Encinitas city schools are not religious. KPBS education reporter Kyla Calvert has been following the controversy and joins us from the News Center with this update. So, Kyla, remind us how this lawsuit came about.
Back in September, the Encinitas Union School District started yoga classes as part of a health and wellness curriculum. There were several parents who started protesting the classes at school board meetings because they felt that yoga was inherently religious because of its ties to Hinduism. Stephen and Jennifer Sedlock sued the district to get them to remove the classes from the school day. And today, the judge, John Meyer, agreed that yoga has religious roots and is still a religious practice for some, but he said that doesn't make the modified poses that Encinitas students do religious. He said gym classes have always involved physical exercises and lessons in things like perseverance and respect.
This physical education, health and wellness class is no different, except that the physical aspect, instead of kickball or something else, is EUSD yoga.
Now, another issue was the classes were started with a grant from KP Joyce Foundation. What were the concerns there?
The Joyce Foundation promotes a form of yoga called Ashtanga, and they gave the district a $533,000 grant that included money to study whether the yoga classes benefit students. There was a question of whether the district was sort of aiding in the group's mission to spread this particular kind of yoga, and the judge decided no. And here's what the Encinitas school superintendent had to say about that.
And from the very beginning, we were in control of the process of hiring the teachers. We were in control of the process of writing the curriculum. We have been in control of everything from the very beginning.
And the attorney representing the Sedlocks said the judge cherry-picked information in his decision to show that the yoga classes aren't religious, and said that they do expect to appeal the ruling.
KPBS education reporter Kyla Calvert. A San Diego man inspired by the Occupy movement was found not guilty of vandalism today. He was accused of writing anti-bank messages in chalk outside 3 banks in Hillcrest and North Park. Jeff Olson faced a possible 13-year jail sentence and a $13,000 fine. Mayor Filner had called the case a waste of time and taxpayer money.
I now pronounce you spouses for life.
2 San Diego women got married this morning in the county's first same-sex marriage following last week's Proposition 8 decision by the Supreme Court. Susan Hartman and Stephanie Torres bought their wedding rings 13 years ago.
What changes now?
We're recognized by our government. We're equal. We've had times where we've had people, family members really, who've said that we weren't the same as their marriage, and that's not the case anymore.
County officials are performing marriages by appointment only, except on Wednesdays when no appointment is necessary. Today's weddings come after a surprise move Friday by a federal appeals court lifting a stay on same-sex marriages. Supporters of California's ban tried to get the stay reinstated over the weekend, but were turned down by Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy. The state gas tax went up today, but you might not have noticed it yet. The increase is expected to be reflected in tomorrow's prices. Still, drivers have gotten a little bit of a break lately. The Auto Club says there's been a drop in wholesale gas prices, so the cost at the pump has been going down for a little more than a week. She's been a school superintendent in training since April, and today, Cindy Marten took the reins of the second largest school district in the state, San Diego Unified. Peggy Pico finds out her plans for the district.
Before being hired as superintendent, Cindy Marten was the principal at Central Elementary School in City Heights. So it comes as no surprise, perhaps, that she wanted to spend some of her first day on the job with third graders on a camping trip in Lakeside. I'd like to welcome back San Diego Unified School District's new superintendent, Cindy Marten. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
What's on the top of your to-do list for your district now that you're officially started?
Well, right away, the first 2 weeks, what I'm doing is bringing together my financial team and then my academic team. And I have 2 full-day retreats planned, once with the financial team and then the academic team, making sure we understand our priorities, and then we can make the finances match the priority. And from there, the top of the to-do list is built off of those 2 full-day retreats that I have with my leadership team. Getting the information first, and talking about money, Governor Brown just signed a budget that gives school districts more money and more discretion on how to use that money. Where's the first place? Do you have an idea where you'd like that money spent? Our board actually has just passed a 3-year plan to look at closing the structural deficit, and we've already made decisions around how we're going to work together as a community to make sure these dollars are put in the right place, and for a long-term strategy to make sure we have stabilization of our schools.
And I'm sure this hasn't come as a surprise to you, but there's been a lot of criticism that a lot of that extra money may be earmarked in San Diego schools to go toward employee raises. How do you want to respond to that criticism?
Well, what we're working on is building a long-term viable public education system that pays the employees what they need to be paid and delivers the highest quality service to every single child. That costs money, and we want to do that in a fair way.
And you'll have more information after these 2 retreats, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. Okay. The new National Common Core standards, how is the district going to prepare for those?
The district's been working on preparing, but I actually pulled a full-day retreat with my principals just this past Tuesday to look at our preparation for Common Core and our implementation of Common Core standards, and there are major instructional shifts that are necessary in the classroom so that our students are ready to be critical thinkers and real-world problem solvers. That's what it's going to take to be Common Core ready. It's not just new textbooks, it's different styles of teaching to have children be ready.
Absolutely. So is there a training process for the teachers on that?
Well, it began with our principals last Tuesday, and then we're building out our principal professional development to start our teacher professional development to go with it, yes.
Right, and just remind people what those Common Core standards, like you said, it's a new way of teaching, but a new way of teaching what?
It's helping students be ready for real world. So you're looking at Common Core standards in math, science, literacy that talks about active learning, performance-based assessments, and you can look at discrete skills in the Common Core standards, but you're looking at engagement in student learning.
And I know you've mentioned already that you've wanted to level the playing field as far as technology in the school district. What are some of your plans there?
We're well ahead in technology with our I-21 program, but now we're looking at what's the next 10 years in terms of technology. We are looking at completely transforming teaching and learning in our classrooms with the implementation of Common Core and then weaving in technology as an integral part to that.
Well, now, you spent part of your first day camping with some 3rd graders. Why was it important for you to be with these kids?
Well, most important, it was a learning experience. This is a group of 3rd graders that we've been camping with. Every year we take our 3rd graders from Central Elementary camping, and it's based on our science standards and our social studies standards, and we integrate reading and writing, and that's what Common Core is. Common Core is integration. So being out camping with students, giving them real-world experiences and applying their science standards out in Lakeside, thanks to the Jarrett Meeker Foundation, we're able to do that.
But I suspect it was a little bit personal, too, because now you're at the district office. You don't go to the campus. You know, you're not every day not going to see these kids.
Connection to children is at the heart of what I will do as a superintendent, and I want to model that on my first day on the job, being with children, because I work for the children.
Are you going to go out and visit them? Do you miss them?
Oh, absolutely. When I was walking on my way into the studio today, there was a group of kids outside saying hi to me. I will stay connected to the children. I miss them, but I'll be right there with them.
All right, Superintendent of San Diego Unified School District, Cindy Marten, thanks again for talking with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Project SAM is a new marijuana policy initiative based on public health and safety principles. The bipartisan group is chaired by former Congressman Patrick Kennedy, Jr., who met with San Diego leaders today to discuss a mental health approach to reducing marijuana use while still making it available for medical reasons.
Unfortunately, this has become too much of a lock 'em up or light 'em up approach, and it's not useful to getting to a smart approach, and that's what SAM, Smart Approaches to Marijuana, is all about. So I'm hoping that we get a dialogue here. If we can get a great model of a good approach to this, where the people who need real medicinal, components of marijuana, they can get it in a way that's controlled and regulated.
Recent studies show the adolescent brain is especially susceptible to negative effects of marijuana, specifically areas of the brain that affect memory, learning, and reaction time. Asians are the fastest growing immigrant group in California. They're also disproportionately affected by hepatitis B, a potentially deadly liver disease. Most people infected with hepatitis B virus don't know it, so doctors and pharmacy students at UC San Diego are trying to spread the word in the Asian community. And KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg says it's starting to pay off.
At the Vietnamese Seventh-day Adventist Church in San Diego's Fairmont Park neighborhood, a health fair is underway. People are offered screenings for diabetes and blood pressure. They can consult with a doctor. But the event's main focus is hepatitis B. That's because while Asians make up less than 5% of the population in the U.S., they account for more than half of all hepatitis B cases. About 1 out of 12 Asians has the virus. Even so, and despite the fact that the disease is treatable, awareness in the community is low. Dr. Bin Tran, founder of the Asian Pacific Health Foundation, says there are some cultural barriers to overcome.
People do not want to know that they have the hepatitis B because it has some stigma to it. And sometimes in the culture from here, we don't talk about our diseases in public. So, and the language barriers, sometimes when you go and they cannot be understood.
UC San Diego pharmacy students take turns talking to the crowd about hepatitis B.
Someone, you can't get it by like physical contact. It's mostly by bodily fluids, blood to blood transfer.
Fourth-year student Sandy Chong is one of the event organizers. She says this kind of outreach to the Asian community is crucial.
They may not be that familiar with all the background, such as transmission, what are some treatment available, how they can prevent it, but they are very interested in learning more about it. So that's why we're trying to get another effort of educational purposes here so that we can educate more people and let them know where they can go to get more information.
Hepatitis B is a liver disease. It's often transmitted from infected mothers to infants at birth. It can also be spread through unprotected sex or contact with contaminated blood. The virus is treatable. It can be prevented through a series of 3 injections, usually given in childhood. But access to the vaccine has been limited in some parts of the world. More than 400 million people are infected worldwide. The World Health Organization recently held a session on hepatitis B at its annual meeting in Geneva, Switzerland. Dr. Giseo Greco directs AIDS and viral hepatitis programs for the government of Brazil. He says the disease can lie undetected in the body for decades.
In a way, it looks like HIV. It may stay for a long time without any symptoms, and when we finally diagnose it because of symptoms, usually it's very late.
Hepatitis B can cause liver cancer and cirrhosis. The disease is linked to more than 1 million deaths a year. Even so, the patient-driven group called the World Hepatitis Alliance complains the disease doesn't get a lot of attention.
It's actually inexplicable that it has such a low priority. And so we're really committed to try and change that.
Charles Gore says people need to know that hepatitis B can be treated. But he says the first step is finding out whether someone is infected.
That's a critical issue. This is probably the biggest problem we face at the moment, is trying to reach the undiagnosed and get them to get tested.
That's what the health fair at the San Diego church is all about. All of the people here who get tested for hepatitis B will get their results mailed to them in a week. Those who test positive will get a phone call and information on where to go to get care. UC San Diego liver specialist Robert Gish explains the disease can be treated by taking a pill once a day.
The chance of controlling the infection and clearing the blood of the infectious virus is over 95%. Now, it's not a cure. We don't have a cure for hepatitis B yet, but we're going that direction, and this is at least a way to suppress and control, change how the patient's outcome is, change their infectivity. So it's very effective therapy, and it's very safe.
So far this year, the team from UC San Diego has organized 12 community health fairs. All told, they've screened more than 500 people for hepatitis B. Kenny Goldberg, KPBS News.
Don't know if you knew it, but California is home to the largest state park system in the country. Peggy Pico talks with the state park director about the future of the troubled department.
There are 280 state parks in California. More than a dozen of those parks and state beaches are in San Diego County. But recently, the park's path became littered with trouble. First, budget cuts threatened to close 70 state parks. Then park officials admitted to hiding millions of surplus dollars. Since then, retired Major General Anthony Jackson was appointed director of California's state park system. General Jackson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, after the last couple years, some might argue that it's going to take a major general to sort of clean up this park system from Fallbrook, no less. You live here in Fallbrook, so that's an added bonus. But in addition to cleaning up the system here, you're also quite a nature enthusiast.
Yes. Well, you know, I grew up in places where you could go out into the woods or go out into the mountains. And then I married a gal who absolutely loves, a California native, who loves, you know, some of our first dates were going to some of our parks and going to Death Valley and just going out in a tent. So it kind of comes natural with the way I was brought up, and I married somebody who loves it too.
So you got a little bit hooked.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, we were talking about that park officials admitted to hiding $20 million surplus last year, even as those 7 dozen parks were about to close or were facing closure. What's changed as far as funding oversight since then?
Okay. First of all, let me say that, you know, California State Parks has absolutely phenomenal, dedicated people, employees. And some of the things, first of all, the big things changed. All those people that were involved with the hidden funds, that $20.5 million, they're all gone or they're not in the organization anymore, and 1 or 2 minor officials have been appropriately punished. So I have a whole new executive staff, number one. I have a whole new process for monthly reviewing our budget. And I have gotten the finance department of the state, I've asked to come in at least once a year and make sure that the honest people who are keeping our books honest aren't making any errors. And so, and I have a very close idea.
An audit that they'll give you a report.
Right, and we've looked at all the audits that were done. There were 3 audits and 1 investigation, and we have made all of the necessary corrections as recommended by the different agencies.
What's the Parks Forward initiative?
Okay. If you look at it strategically, I have some real, some pretty powerful goals, and 5 of them that I just outlined really quick. And the first was to restore public trust, and that's one reason why I'm appearing here, so people can see and know who is running California State Parks now and gain the people's trust, as well as the employees, because the over 5,000 people who were employed, they were kind of rocked, the 99% who are doing their job honestly and effectively each day. And then to, you know, obviously preserve and protect the park system, and then to connect more Californians to their parks. You know, we have these 280 parks that are just fabulous. And then, but one of the, and then to have the best facilities. So when our Californians walk into the restrooms at California State Parks, that they're going to be the cleanest possible and well maintained. And then finally, which leads into your, answers more directly your question, is we have to come up with a sustainable financial way of funding our park system. The Parks Forward Commission, as we were directed to have that, we're going to have 9 to 12 distinguished individuals from around the country and the state of California who look at developing a sustainable way of financing us and moving us forward into the 21st century.
And I want to drill down a little bit on that. I understand there's $1 billion worth of need as far as backlog for maintenance, and as you were talking about sustainability, are park fees going to increase to tackle these 2 issues?
Well, we cannot actually fund all of our parks by just raising park fees. There, certainly that we're looking at many different ways to generate revenues for the park system. One of them is, you know, we charge fees on our beaches and the entryways to our parks. So that's not going to be the only way that we can fund them. Right now, Californians used to, out of the general fund, out of tax dollars, 10 years ago, provided 90% of the operating costs for parks. Now it's in the 27 to 28% range. So we need something besides just charging the public more at our beaches and parks.
Let me ask you this one last question here. Locally, a nonprofit group, Friends of Palomar Mountain, they've raised enough money to keep the Palomar Mountain Park open.
Right.
Do you think organizations like that, you might rely on some of that type of private donation funding?
Absolutely critical to the survivability of our parks. As you know, out of that $20.5 million that was missing, the legislature gave that back to me to give back out to the parks, especially the ones that were on that closure list. And $10 million of it we've already used to fix infrastructure, water, sewage, that kind of thing at our parks. I have given out and signed about 40 different agreements with fundraisers on 40 different parks to, if they raise $100,000 for their park to keep it open, I can match out of that final $10 million. I can give them another $100,000, another double their money to hire rangers, hire necessary maintenance people to keep those parks open. And I still have I tell your viewing audience that I have $6 million that I have not yet given out to maintain their parks. But Palomar Mountain is definitely on the list of going to be on our matching funds.
All right, good to know. Yeah. California State Parks Director, Major General Anthony Jackson, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you for having me. And next year's the 150th anniversary of California State Parks. We should celebrate that. We have the crown jewels of national park system worldwide.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's an excessive heat warning still in effect in our mountain and desert areas until about 8 o'clock tonight. Coastal temperatures will be in the mid-70s for the next few days, mid-80s for the inland valleys. The heat will really start breaking in the mountains by the 4th of July, but desert temperatures will still hover in the triple digits near 110. You can find tonight's stories and download the KPBS app, all on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.